The streetlights flickered ominously outside the modest suburban house as the clock struck 8 p.m. Inside, 6-year-old Emma sat cross-legged on the living room carpet, her favorite stuffed bunny clutched tightly in her small hands. Beside her, Max, the family's golden retriever, wagged his tail gently, his watchful eyes never leaving the little girl. Her mother, Claire, had left an hour ago, dressed in a sequined black dress and red heels that clicked loudly against the hardwood floor. "I'll be back before you know it," she had said, ruffling Emma's hair. "Be a good girl for Max, okay?" Emma nodded dutifully, though a pang of loneliness tugged at her heart. Claire's work as a single mother was exhausting, and nights like these, where she sought respite in the company of friends, were not uncommon. Max, sensing Emma's unease, nudged her hand with his wet nose, eliciting a giggle. "You're my best friend, Max," Emma whispered, wrapping her arms around the dog's fluffy neck. Max let out a soft bark as if to say, "I've got you." The night wore on, and Emma busied herself with crayons and coloring books, her innocent world blissfully unaware of what lay ahead. Outside, the wind howled through the trees, carrying with it an air of unease. Max's ears perked up, his posture suddenly alert. He moved to the window, sniffing at the cold glass pane. "What is it, Max?" Emma asked, setting her crayons aside. She patted over to him, her bunny tucked under one arm. The retriever let out a low growl, his tail stiff. Emma peered outside but saw nothing beyond the darkness. "It's okay," she said, patting his head. "Maybe it's just the wind." But Max didn't settle. He began pacing, his sharp barks echoing through the empty house. Emma's small face scrunched with worry. She picked up the cordless phone on the kitchen counter, intending to call her mother, but hesitated. "She told me not to call unless it's an emergency." She glanced at Max, who was now standing at the back door, barking furiously. His normally gentle demeanor had shifted into something fierce and protective. Emma swallowed hard, clutching her bunny tighter. "What's out there, Max?" Suddenly, a loud crash shattered the silence. Emma screamed, stumbling backward as Max darted toward the sound. The back door had been forced open, and a figure loomed in the doorway. A man, dressed in dark clothing, stepped inside, his face obscured by a ski mask. Emma froze in terror, her tiny frame trembling. But Max was already in motion. With a deep, guttural growl, he launched himself at the intruder, his teeth bared. The man yelped in surprise as the dog's powerful jaws clamped down on his arm. He stumbled backward, trying to shake Max off, but the golden retriever was relentless. "Stay away," Emma cried, her voice quivering. She scrambled under the dining table, clutching her bunny as tears streamed down her face. Max's growls and the man's curses filled the air. The intruder managed to shove the dog away momentarily, but Max quickly recovered, positioning himself between the man and Emma. The dog's protective instincts were in overdrive, he would not let this stranger harm his family. "Stupid mutt," the man spat, pulling a knife from his pocket. He lunged toward Max, but the dog dodged, his teeth sinking into the man's leg this time. The intruder howled in pain, dropping the knife. Seizing the opportunity, Emma grabbed the knife and threw it across the room, far out of the man's reach. "Go away," she shouted, her voice growing braver. The man, now bleeding and outmatched, stumbled toward the door. Max chased him, snapping at his heels until he fled into the night. The back door slammed shut behind him, and the house fell eerily silent once more. Emma crawled out from under the table, her chest heaving with sobs. "Max," she whispered. The golden retriever, his fur matted with blood that wasn't his own, trotted over to her and licked her face. She threw her arms around him, burying her face in his fur.